There we go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you so much for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Today's stream topic is going to be about being scared of having a bad time. I had a few conversations this weekend with a bunch of different people who I will not name because that's not the point of the stream topic. But this conversation allowed me to recognize a pattern of fear, and specifically fear of having a bad time. When it comes to these environments that I find myself in, the festival scene, to say it in so many words, there are a bunch of choices kind of made available to you. You can choose to do a great deal, many things. You can choose to dance, you can choose to eat, you can choose to sit around a fire and chat, you can choose to smoke weed, you can choose what you put in your body. And as we make these choices, our bodies experience things as a result of it, right? That's pretty simple. But the thing that I noticed is how we are willing to have a bad time physically, right? To afterwards experience a sense of discomfort, uh, to brave the bad, to avoid feeling bad in this moment. There are a bunch of things that people put in their bodies these days, and psychedelics are amongst some of the ones that I believe have benefits in our experience, right? However, psychedelics aren't there to give you a good time. They're more like teachers, guides, maybe is a better word, to whatever you need to be dealing with in your own state of mind. And sometimes that's not a good time, right? So we would rather do something else that is pretty much guaranteed to just make us feel one way and not the other. And I wonder how that behavior, like you very much notice it in these kind of moments where you're at a festival because depending on the choices people make, you can see it on their faces. You can see it in their eyes, you can see it in their demeanor, the way they communicate. And this is not me casting any judgment. This is just me being a pattern recognizer, right? And if I'm going to see patterns of self destruction, to try and avoid a moment of discomfort, then it feels like, at least in my mind, I am supposed to get better at having a bad time. And that's today's stream topic. Thank you, friends, for joining me. I have some pineapple chunks in here. I am home, finally. John and Max are actually still at Marvin's place. They have another event this coming up weekend, but we won't be doing any mapping for that one, so I get to come back home. I am tired. My body feels taxed for the most part. You got a new torch. I did. I did buy another torch. I still have the other one, but John destroyed his. He put the tank refill thing straight through the bottom part of it. It's completely wrecked. So we've been three manning two lighters this whole weekend, and it was causing me, at least at some points, a state of momentary discomfort, momentary bad time. So yeah. Is that couch still skin colored? No, this one is not the one we had at home. This one is brown. I'm not back at my dad's place. I'm back home, my home, where I have my bed made. Let me get this set up. It's a nice little torchy as well. It has a big tank, and it It's a nice button. Mm. It's nice having you here, Mojo. Sending you blessings. While we inside you being a vampire hunting from the sun? Yeah, pretty much. I did set up in that little sun room, but it was kind of cooking in there, so I was like, Hi Mel, haven't been on in a while. I hope you're well. I did see you fit during the whole dancing stream, but it's nice seeing you again. Goodness. How crazy strong is John? That's impressive. The fact that he's gonna go in mission again. Him and Max as well. Was he just like, all this resistance is totally normal? Oh, you're talking about the. Yeah, like he asked me, how are you supposed to refill it? And I go, you align it with that little circle and then you push. And he pushed. Oh, don't you worry. He pushed. I'm a grow me sowing Indonesia orange edible Cosmo flowers at the moment. That does sound beautiful, bro. Are you actually gonna eat them or are they just edible? Now the fact that the caveman threw no, the fact that he caveman threw the bottom of the torch. Oh, okay. I actually popped in over the weekend. I must have been high and I have to leave right away. I forgot actually. It's okay. I remembered. I remember. My brain is mush. Mine feels pretty mush as well. But I'm not having a bad time. I'm just feeling cold to chillax. When I close my eyes, I see layers that seem to be stacked underneath water. And as the water layers move up top, the layers and the lines that make them up move with the water. Yes. Yes, this is what I'm seeing. They don't taste like much, they are just for garnish. But the bees and the butterflies love them. That's all convincing I need, bro. Plant more. Plant more. I was at John's grandma's place yesterday, but also just before I left for home. I'm trying to think when I was having this conversation with her. But essentially, she had these granadillas. She had like a big thing, big plant of granadillas growing on the side of her wall. And I saw these granadillas, and instantly I'm excited because I love granadillas. And I go and I open one of them, and there are like two of those little seeds with the little orangey flesh around it. Like just two little ones of it. And I'm like, usually this thing is full, right? Like you have to scrape the sides to get all of it. Two of them. And then I had a conversation with Tani about, maybe using like a little brush to pollinate them. And then I was thinking about the bees and the fact that I don't see any in that environment. Hmm. Yeah. No bees, no good granadillas. Melt is melting into the couch, become one of the pillows. I am. I am the pillows. It feels like similar density even. Are you reading my comments about the butterflies loving them? Yeah, I did read that. I did read that. The butterfly flew into my greenhouse by my planting table with me. Only when there's seeds. Maybe they're just already stoked. Or I didn't know what you're doing. singing you a little inaudible song, encouraging you to plant those flowers. I'm seeing a bunch of wasps in an orchestra playing classical instruments. I don't know. Mark Wahlberg once asked, "Where have all the bees gone?" He was ahead of his time. Mark Wahlberg? From Ted? Hey Google. Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, from Ted. I don't know if he's gonna enjoy being known for being in Ted, but that is kind of tricky. Sorry, autocorrect. To get with today, I was to say, I was supposed to say as you were reading. It's okay. Fitman makes a hella burger with the flowers as garnish. That does sound nice, actually. Instead of putting lettuce on your burger, you put flowers on your burger. What Mark Wahlberg did to Planet of the Apes put him on the no list for life, yeah. And those burgers of his are awful, at least in my area. Yeah, I haven't had any burgers of Mark Wahlberg's, and I can't remember Mark Wahlberg playing in the Planet of the Apes movies. Maybe he's one of the ones I didn't see. Oh, he's a straight up monster. Unless you're a concerned bee. Goodness. Did he do did he do it in his underwear while trying to sell us Calvin Klein chonies? I am way too tired to understand what's happening right now. Are they called Wahlburgers? Wahlburgers. I mean, that is kind of funny. Wahlberg, right? Wahlburger. I hope so. If not, missed marketing opportunity. Is that cartoons as well? I'm a, I'm a B. I'm a B B B. I'm a B. I'm a B on the next level. I'm a B singing that treble. I'm a B skibidi. I'm a B stacking more weed. Connor. Yes. Love is true. It's nice having you here, Connor. How are you doing, bro? How are you doing? I am very lazy, pretty tired. Even though I did technically sleep well last night, I think I'm still paying some sleep tax from the weekend. The first night, I only went to bed at close to 5 a.m. Second night, 3 a.m. Awake again at 5. Sleep again until 10 or 9. Yeah. I get to be tired, yes. Melt, you definitely have the demeanor of a man who dances ass off at a festival. I did. I actually danced my ass off. Like it like my lower back and my hamstrings and my ass, like my actual gluteus muscles. Taking a step or like standing up or sitting down hurts. Hurts. Feels like I ran a marathon. Like my body is taxed. But it's good. Good. I enjoy taxing my body. Like I was going through this whole mental narrative over the weekend, especially when I was really dancing. I danced for at least 15 hours this weekend. Minimum 15 hours of straight hard dancing. And at one point, I was like breathing so loudly and excessively, like literal long. Like I had to breathe that way, otherwise I would pass out. And this narrative of I am pushing myself to the brink of physical exhaustion, and I love it. Right? Like that was like the narrative. I was like, how hard can I push myself while sustaining rhythm, hopping on the beat, not missing a beat kind of vibe. It was fun. I had a lot of fun. But I am hurt. My body needs to get stronger again. Recover fast. So funny. You can tell who is commenting what just listening to Melt read them. No need to read. Yeah, I mean, you can see the demeanor at this point, right, Mojo? Tunes fit, Joy, Mojo, Melt, and all of the more. Love you, friends. We love you, Jovan, so much. It's nice having you here. Connor, you had a different avatar at the top of chat than you do now. It is a new one. You aren't lazy. You are in recovery mode. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I'm doing cowboy stuff. I got a lot going on. Just trying to have fun before the real world hits. Normal. Oh, little do you know, Connor, there are no such things, bro. You're gonna have to have fun when the real world starts as well. This mentality of, oh, I need to fill my tank because my tank is gonna get empty later, uh, leads to bad decision making. That is technically today's stream topic of people being scared to have a bad time, right? They think growing up is gonna be a bad time. So they try and have all of the good time now. Right? That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Mel's like the David Goggins of dancing, except like nice. I don't. I mean, I think David Goggins is just he's been so hard on himself from the masculine perspective, and it worked for him, right? The version of him that he is needed that masculine scrutiny, and maybe he believes that's the way it's supposed to be, right? Uh, the masculine in me doesn't respond to that, right? Like the masculine in me will fight back against the version of my ego that memes. So I try to be loving. I found in my fractal that being loving, being like, oh yeah, bro, I know you don't want to do this, but how about you do it for love? And then my masculine will be like, okay, fine. Guess I do things for love, right? So I have to. But yeah, thank you, John. Love is true. Mm, do. It sounds like an amazing time. I'm glad you such a blast. 15 hours definitely beats my record. Yeah, it might have been more. It might have been more because we did start the Friday. Yeah, it was all fun though. Like the music was actually good. Like that's the thing that I'm like over and over again. When I think about this festival, I come back to just being so grateful that the music was so good. Where's Sam? I want to see her. Shit on David Goggins. The absolute best time of my life was between 16 and 22. Bro, that was literally the worst time of my life. Like, literally the worst time of my life. So, again, right? It's different for everybody. Literally, me, Mel. I have been going wild the last week. Needed a few days recovery. Bless, bro. Do the rest up. I have no idea who David Goggins is, but why do they look like they drink their own pee? I mean, I think David Goggins probably would, if he's doing a marathon and he's thirsty enough. He'll make it an inspirational story. I turned 23. I am now an old man, says Connor. All right, bro. All I know is I feel younger now, spiritually, than I did when I was 16. And I think it's because I was so close to death when I was 16. I feel very alive these days, and it makes me feel young. So maybe that's the anecdote to feeling old, Connor. Do things that bring life into your being. Oh man, that was so spicy. Woo! And it's creating that. Thank you. It's so nice. The pineapple chunks. Mm-mm-mm. I will still have fun. It'll be a different kind of fun. You can't have the sour without the sweet because the sweet wouldn't be so sweet. Yeah, that's true. Connor, no one likes you when you're 23. It's a fact. There's a song about it. Oh, that's not true though. I turned 23. I was 23 when I started streaming, I think. Yeah. You friends like me, right? Or did you only start liking me as soon as I hit 24? Is that how it worked? We'll revisit then. Apparently, he's totally min-maxed his stats, where he's literally inhumanely great in some areas, lacking terribly in others. Oh, David Goggins, yeah, 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 very much. Still fascinating human, breaking his body and pushing wild limits. Showing people what is possible, right? At least through the lens of one person. Showing people that you are powerful, that you are capable of doing things that you might not consider. At least that's the way I look at people that inspire me, right? Looking at them, like my line, and I believe I came up with this one is you should think the same things about yourself that you think about your heroes, right? Or say the same things about yourself that you say about your heroes. Believe the same things about yourself that you believe about your heroes. And I know that's not easy necessarily, but it is possible. And it very much is this acknowledgement that it is in your capacity to do great things as well. Of course, there are some limits, right? I might be super inspired by someone who can lift 450 kilograms above their head. Uh, and maybe with enough practice, I could get to a point where I could do that. But just trying to do that, I'll throw my back out or something. Who knows? Also, I thought I was old at 23. Wait till you feel 38, my guy. Like, especially when you're more amused by prank phone calls. Oh boy. A famous CrossFit bro. That's his line then. Proselyte. Proselytization and conversion. Proselytization and conversion? I don't know what that word means. It's my Jordan. It's my Jordan flu year. Like you're gonna buy yourself Jordans, like the shoes, or you're making me sense, man. I'm sorry. Duck, especially when you're more amused. Plus, again, that's what my 23rd birthday cake said, and it was red. Nice. You being a rocker, a punk rocker as well. That's super cool, actually. Obviously, I'm joking, but it's starting to get real. Tell me about it. Yeah. It's not gonna get any less real. Just so you know, Connor. It's only getting more real from now on, bro. It's gonna be alright, right? And real is good. Real is what we look for, you know. If you are gonna buy something, a product, you want the real thing, right? So if you think of this experience you're having, right? If someone puts a gun to your head and you don't want them to pull the trigger, that's because you value your life, right? So how much value do you apply to your life? One. And then if that value is high, then you would obviously want the real thing if you're going to apply so much value to it, right? So embrace the real, bro. Don't be scared of having a bad time, Connor. You're gonna. sometimes, sometimes bad times, sometimes good times. Weirdly enough, more times good times than sometimes bad times. But don't be scared of having bad times because that's where the power gets taken from you, right? Of the fear of having the bad time, because bad times will happen, but if you're scared of it, it's almost like an anticipation thing, and then a reaffirmation thing, and a confirmation bias that you start forming of like, yo, I only have bad times, only so much bad times, never do have good times. Gunner, part of you is still growing. Try not to stress yourself over the things that aren't there yet, like your better judgment. These aren't those years, bud. I somehow want to leave the country and experience the world while also finding experience in the workplace to find a suitable career. Have you considered working online? You are an animator, so animate, create a portfolio while you travel. All right, there are ways to do what you want to. I don't know if you have the capital to travel because that is going to be expensive and living places, but that's one way to do it, right? Then you can actually create workplace experience while experiencing the world, as you say. I want to do that, except without the work part involved. Same, Nanshi. I get it. I have been well aware of my poor judgment. I still stress over my decisions, even though I know I'm young enough to make mistakes. Uh, I have never followed that logic, unfortunately. And I have made mistakes, but I've never let myself off the hook for it. Not even once, right? Not even once. And never, oh, I'm young, it's fine. Never, never, ever. Oh, goodness. I trip myself out even more, weirdly enough. I actually believe the exact opposite. I believe making mistakes later in my life is going to be more okay because I'll have the stability to be able to afford making a mistake. At this point in my life, I have zero room for fuck up. Like like this, I if I make a mistake, I don't have what I need to continue not making mistakes kind of vibe. So yeah, uh, try to not make mistakes, right? That's probably the best advice. And the mistakes are relatively easy to not make, and it can very much be boiled down to just a love is truth thing. Do things that your body would love to do. I think the way I danced, my body did love it, especially in the moment, right? And now in this moment, my body loves resting. Make decisions that benefit your life, right? Then you won't make mistakes. At least that's the way I try to see it. I don't want you making mistakes, Connor, and I especially don't want you to let yourself off the hook for it, bro. Oh, I'm young. It's fine. It's fine. I can keep making mistakes. It's fine. I'm still young. You're gonna be young forever, bro. In our future, the technology that's being created right now, AlphaFold, there's a new whole like AI design AI, like genome design AI that they open sourced recently. Like we're gonna stay young forever kind of vibes. Stop stop reasoning. Oh, I'm young. I can make no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just because of the weekend I had. I couldn't make a mistake, bro. Doesn't matter what my age is, right? I like if I start making mistakes, and my mistakes influence every single other person's environment, their feelings, their experience going forward. Me telling them my age isn't gonna matter. They're not gonna be like, "Oh, it's fine. This guy is only 25." No, no. It's gonna be like, bro, stop making this mistake. We don't care what your age is. Oh, okay. My ADHD navigates a way to look up the definition of proselytization. And the ADHD one, if I remember to look it up later, I like how your text also fell apart the way my verbalage of it did. So you want to be a bard, you want to travel the world and amuse with stories, songs and dance, and retellings of great battles. The pay is little, so you will have to do a little secret stabby to just like do some assassinating on the side. Is that what you're suggesting? Proselytizing. Noun. The action of attempting to convert someone from one religion, belief, or opinion to another. Do I proselytize? Yeah, all the time. So much proselytizing this, proselytizing. I believe love is true, right? And I want other people to believe it too. Is that is that wrong? Yeah. Well, then I don't want to be right. I don't want to. What little detail about a human anatomy? Wait a second. Kind of remembering you don't even have a fully formed prefrontal cortex yet, which is the reasoning center. Just to relax, my dude. That little detail about human anatomy is why we encourage tutelage between younger and older folks. Your decision center isn't done cooking yet, so until it is, you run all the shit by one. That is, yeah. Mistakes are unavoidable. Yeah, that I agree with. But the avoidable mistakes are avoidable, right? For instance, uh, like this weekend. And I'm gonna again share context and not names because it's not about judging anybody. It's about making mistakes, right? So in these environments, there are a bunch of things available, and the more people get into the available things, the more available things are made available to people, right? So I have a friend that's special to me, important to me, that is allured by another group of people, right? That used to uh, insufflate a bunch of white powders that got too expensive for them, and now they're crushing MDMA rocks and insufflating that instead, right? And that is a mistake. It's a mistake to do that. It's not good for you, not by any measure. It's short acting, and I haven't tried it myself, but through research understanding, it's short acting. It's super bad for you. It spikes the concentrations. It forms even harder tolerance boundaries, right? And like, I'm like, what am I supposed to say, right? These mistakes are technically avoidable. We can choose not to make these mistakes, and making these mistakes and then saying, "Oh, I'm young. It's fine. There's gonna be technology that can help me fix the damage I've done to my brain. It's fine." I feel like that's a very slippery slope, right, of extreme degeneration, where imagine a society where we do have the technology to reverse the damage we do. So we have like and maybe Sam, is like nodding like yeah, like we have a whole group of like extremely hedonist people that absolutely brain damage the nonsense out of themselves, take intoxicants to the point of like near death, and then get resurrected by the end, like the medics, and fixed again with modern medicine. Like that doesn't seem, in my mind, like the future I want to live in, right? I do believe that there are room for substances in the future we're heading into. I strongly believe in that. But again, it should be something constructive, right? Like for instance, this weekend I took a drop of LSD, liquid LSD. We call it Lions, right? And I took it, I think 5 p.m. on Saturday, and I danced. That was my experience, right? It gave me the energy, the freedom, the receptivity to the music, to the energies of the space, to the visuals that was happening, to the connection with myself, the versions of me that I've been, the versions of me that I've danced on that dance floor. Not that one specifically, but the dance floor that is the dance floor so many times before. All of the dances that I've danced with you, friends, in these streams coming with me as well. Like that is what that experience brought for me in that moment. And like when it comes to like the pain part of it, right? Where we try to like numb ourselves, or the stimulant part of it, where we try to uh, give ourselves some sort of validation, feel that sense of validation, of acceptance of ourselves, love, self-love, even, that sense of dopamine. Don't be scared to have a bad time. That was today's stream topic, right? That was technically the stream topic, and that was the point I was trying to make as well. That some experiences do have room for a bad time, experientially at least. Especially if you've been making decisions that will lead to you having a bad time, right? Like the whole, if you keep making this decision, this is where you end up, right? And you are well aware that seems like a bad time, right? And unfortunately, psychedelics have this nature about them to unearth that stuff, to be like, hey, oh, what are you doing here? What's happening here now? Should you be doing this? You think this is a good idea? And unfortunately, when that happens, it's not always a good time. Rarely is it a good time to have that happen to you. And stimulants don't do that. Stimulants don't do that. Uh, I'm finally losing the opioids. Opioids don't do that, right? I think maybe DMT has like an era of that. I'm looking for Iboga. That's the one. Iboga also has that nature. Apparently, that one is very masculine in its, hey, look at this problem areas. Apparently, people that are like 15-year heroin addicts go through one Iboga ceremony and then are like clean. Like that breaks my brain, like these decisions we make, the stuff we choose to put into our bodies. And it goes into all of it, right? Into the food, into the alcohol, into the cigarettes and vapes. That's the one that's been getting me. The freaking vapes. I really do enjoy the experience of inhaling a vapor and exhaling it again. I do. And the fact that these things taste so good these days, it is very it is very alluring, right? Because when it was still cigarettes, not even like not even a smidge of my being wanted to try it, right? Because it stinks. Like I was like always visibly repelled by a cigarette or a cigarette smoker. But the vapes don't do that for me, right? In fact, there is an attraction towards it that I believe it is the inner child, right? Like we're talking about all of these like candy flavors and how it's like attracting the children, and we're not supposed to do that. And I agree with that. But I think the problem actually goes into all of us are technically children. Sure, we've grown up to be adults, but the children we used to be are still very much the children we are, right? inside kind of vibe. We've just added all of these layers on top of it. So the inner child in me wants to taste the berry kiwi mango. I want to taste that. I don't know what I don't. Right, and if I was a kid, like an actual 7-year-old, and I saw someone vaping something that had those names on it, I would want to vape it as well. 100%. How many 7-year-olds are hitting vapes right now? It's probably an absurd number. I don't want to know. No, please don't tell me. Okay. Okay. Choices. And not being scared of having a bad time. Yeah. Mistakes are unavoidable, and no one has ever learned anything from getting it right the first time. Lessons come with mistakes because pain sucks. I disagree with you, Melt. Mistakes cost less. When you were young, if I fuck up this plant nursery when I'm 23, I just have to worry about myself. If I fuck up this plant nursery at 38, I have a wife and child. Huge cost of failure. Yeah, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. Right, like I don't have any dependents kind of vibe. So me failing isn't affecting dependence, and that I agree completely with. But the way I see it is that by the time I have dependence, my failing shouldn't like affect them, right? Like at least that's the level of stability I would like to reach before I have a kid. But that might be a pipe dream. We'll see. Would say the guy's only 25 because you're inexperienced and you were free. Those aren't digs, but no one should accept it magic. Expect it magic from a first timer. You gotta call. Just gotta call. My uncle died. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that. What do I say to my aunt and cousins? It's over text. I just want to hug them. Maybe give them a call if you don't want to text. Your cost of mistake at that festival would have gained you knowledge, but cost you little. And yes, you're going to say, but opportunity dog. Nope, that costs nothing until it's something in hand. Yeah, okay. Like it is. Yeah. I'm sorry, Connor. Bless you, bro. Friend, focus on breathing right now. Slow the thoughts. They're coming through quickly. When the thoughts have slowed, the words will come to you. I still see water and waves when I close my eyes, Connor. Okay, that was kind of weird. I was under the water, and then suddenly I was inside of a machine, something mechanical, with metal pieces being kind of like extruded, created, shaped, and falling off pistons, like very industrial, repetitive in nature, creating this sense of stuckness. And then it felt like I was dragging something or someone to get one out of that environment and then two above the water. And as soon as I broke water surface in my mind's eye, I opened my eyes. Hello, lovelies. I'm in the hospital, so I have to say phone battery for now. Much love and see you all. I'm sure you would have told us if it's something serious. Happy that you're in a safe place. Sending you lovings, Kristen. Sometimes there are no words. Sometimes it's actions that help. If you're feeling the helplessness of all of this, are they nearby? That's a good question to ask, actually. Always make the out breath longer. That feels good. Thank you, Mama. I feel so zen right now. I'm gonna go get my cards, pull one for you friends, and then say goodbye for now. Ooh, okay, there we go. Thank you, Mala, for the reminder, bro. That did help. I had like a little bit of a headache as well, and that's also gone now. We pulled the priestess card. I think this is the first time we've ever pulled it. Priestess. How are you being called to get up and lead? To step up and lead? Priestess. You've got big love tuner. If it happened recently, they might be going through shock like you are. In that state of dissociation, discombobulated, things like the cam rip the rug from beneath you. You gotta be present and take on the new things as they come, as everyone gains their footing again. My Discord DMs are open, friend. Thank you so much, Joe, for offering so much love. Here is our card, friends. Priestess. How are you being called to get up and lead? Card number 46. The card that comes directly after the mirror card. The priestess is a teacher dedicated to service, freedom, and leadership. You don't need to have it all together to lead. In fact, it helps if you don't. No one wants a perfect angel who hasn't made any mistakes. Let your life be your message. Don't underestimate the power of sharing your story. It's by hearing someone else's journey that we feel less alone. We realize that we're actually all in this thing called life together. The difference between a follower and a leader is that a leader has the courage to go first. In stepping out, they shine a light on the path for others to venture forward to. Don't fret too much about trying to work out who is your tribe. Don't get stuck in age, income, hobbies, or occupation. The best way to discover your tribe is to look in the mirror. Yes, see? This card is melting my brain right now. If you feel called to lead, chances are it is because at some point in your life you longed for someone to lead you. Your tribe are longing for exactly the same thing as you were, and are, and might only be one step behind you. Hell, they may even be right alongside you. You don't need anyone's permission, just the courage to stand up. Embrace your struggles, the peaks, the throws. You don't need to know the way, just believe that there might be a different one. Your tribe is waiting for you. Step forward so you can find them. That is trippy, right? Especially with the whole embrace your struggles, the peaks, the throws. Today's whole stream topic was about having a bad time, struggling, right? Having a struggle. How are you being called to step up and lead? How can you be the leader you wish you had? Say the same things about yourself that you would say about your heroes, about your leaders, about your role models, about your heart's inspirations. Right? Yo, Meld, uh, UNC wanted the card. He deserves it. UNC? Uh, sounds so impersonal over text. I don't know what to say. I don't see UNC, bro. Maybe I have to switch to my all messages. Yo, Melt, UNC wanted a card. He deserves it. I don't see UNC. Connor. I can't give the goodbye. Being pulled away at work. Love yous. Love you. We'll see you again soon, Joe. I'll pull another card. Uncle. Uncle. Oh. 'Trust the Ningle. What is the ningling feeling trying to tell you? Uncle is abbreviated. Yeah, Ningle. Trust the Ningle. One more time. $52. What is the ningling feeling trying to tell you? The ningling feeling. That annoying ningling feeling. That inconvenient, annoying ningling feeling. Try as you may, it's there. And it ain't going anywhere. Most people spend years ignoring their ningling feelings, throwing their best dollops of stubbornness, ego, and post rationalization to numb themselves out. It's exhausting. And until you face the ningle, life just throws you more bait to awaken it, to draw your attention to the light within you that is bursting to come out. The ningle is an arrow pointing to what is standing in your way, the relationship, the conversation, the decisions you've been making, the shift that needs to be made, the stone you put in your shoe. Often, we feel the ningle feeling in our body first. Many people think that intuition is something from the higher realms, but in fact, it's in the body. But in fact, it is the body that is the intuitive one, working through our senses to deliver vibrational information. It takes just a moment every day to scan your body to receive the intuitive intelligence thereof and act on it quickly. You are being called to face the ningle now. If you don't face it, the universe will throw something much bigger and more obvious in your path. And then you will likely regret that you didn't answer the ningle in the first place. I know it is scary, but you are safe. Just answer the ningle now. Bro. Yeah. These cards don't pull punches. I do have to go to the bathroom. I have been kind of like antsy for a while. Thank you, friends, for joining me, for spending this moment, for not being scared of having a bad time. Alright? You didn't know that it was gonna be a good time to be had in this stream. Maybe Melt is tired. Maybe Melt is sad. Maybe Melt is angry. Maybe Melt is hotful or something. but still here you are. I love you. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, we're this card's so better for people. I love you. Have the most amazing day, beloved friends. Ones that show up, ones that are strong, ones that are beautifully equipped to have a bad time and to make the most of it. I look forward to seeing you again soon already, tomorrow. But until then, goodbye. I love you. Cheers, everybody.